truth. Some say that rap's alive, it turns out that I'm the proof.
K-Sports pregame show.
I'm Ernie Johnson here again with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. This NBA season rocking right along, and we're loving every minute of it. The fans are filling the seats in San Antonio, the site of our broadcast, and where the Spurs will be going up against the Los Angeles Clippers. For Los Angeles, this is a team they knocked out in the first round in last year's playoffs, so they'd better be ready. Some extra motivation on this one. And before we tip off, I just need to ask Shaq, when you think back to great teammates, what are the qualities that make a great teammate?
Well, you want to play the guys who care as much about the game as you do, a guy who puts the team first, a guy who gets you involved, a guy who has the same dreams and aspirations that you have about the game.
Well, that name sounds like Kobe Bryant to me that you were talking about, but I always look for guys who could push me. And I could push them at the same time, where we could work together. It's a family, the basketball team. You playing for 82 games. You need somebody that's going to be in your corner.
Wouldn't you like to push Kenny?
Push him out the set.
Yeah, that's what I was getting
As long
at.
as I could push you back.
You may not be able to. Kevin Harlan, take it away, kid.
The sparkling Riverwalk, one of the highlights of any visit to San Antonio under a beautiful starlit sky. It's an all-Western Conference matchup in today's game as the Clippers come into town for this one. And get ready for another dose of NBA basketball on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan, and here with me today, Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. And it's been home cooking for the Spurs in the midst of a homestand here in San Antonio. They've really been on a roll. They've gone 5-1 in their last 6 games.
It's go time. Now, these are two teams whose rivalry goes way back, and anytime they renew it, the fans, as well as all that are involved, are going to be in for a treat.
I like that. Go time. That's a good way to put it. This will be a testing encounter between these two. The build-up to the game has been extremely intense. I think everybody expecting some kind of volatility to erupt on the floor today.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. Taking a look at Los Angeles. Chris Paul and J.J. Redick are the guards. Inside, it's Griffin and Jordan, and it's Mbah a Moute in at the 3, the small forward. A shot by Redick, no good. Kawhi Leonard, with another great season last year, earned his first Defensive Player of the Year award with his outstanding play.
And for Leonard, he became the first perimeter player to win one since 2004. That just shows you how incredible his defense was at times.
4 on the shot clock. Oh, and here's the one-handed jam.
And that's the kind of lead pass we've come to expect from him.
And here are the Clippers. They put up a nice win against the Bucks the last time out.
And the way they attacked the basket in that game was unreal. After a while, the defenders seemed to just wave the white flag.
Yeah, like you said, that's what will happen when a team continues to attack the basket and come away with layups. The defense tends to get demoralized and deflated. Kevin, I tell you what, when he gets to the rim like that, he's really hard to stop.
Yeah, he can get up a few notches higher. There's no doubt.
And that's how the game is played on the inside. You can play over the top. You've got a great advantage.
Ball against Green. Jordan with the screen on Green. Top of the key, Griffin. Redick against Leonard. And now it's Leonard running. Here we go. All the way.
Quick hands on the steal and then just mad hops on the slam.
Great sequence for them defensively and Clark offensively.
Well, one usually leads to the other, Kevin. That's just good, aggressive, attacking basketball at both ends.
Special thanks to Kia for that sweet Kia Slam Cam replay. Here's Paul. After the basket by San Antonio. That's good.
That's just run-of-the-mill for him. A typical day at the office. He's one of the more skilled offensive players out there.
On the wing, Green. Duncan up on top. Shot, high post. And the Spurs scoring again. The Clippers trail. First quarter of play. We're about 3 minutes in. Parker against Paul. It's Reddick on the wing. Just 5 on the clock. Reddick's got his first basket of the night. The Spurs have gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. And Parker, here we go. And he gets that one to go off the front iron. From deep, Green. It's hauled in by DeAndre Jordan.
Boy, but he was close, Kevin, to making the defense pay for lackadaisical coverage there.
Yeah, you may not be as lucky next time down if you're the defense. You cannot allow him to get those kinds of looks.
Now, here's Reddick. Really played well against Milwaukee his last outing. Fires for 3. Can't get it to go. Great D that time from Green.
Well, he's been off his game this quarter just a bit. Hasn't been able to get a whole lot to go so far.
Tries from 10. Lands soft on the front of the rim and drops.
Well, you can bet the defense wasn't expecting that kind of razzle-dazzle out of it. But the spin worked like a charm. Perfect.
Paul kicks to Griffin. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
And you see the way Blake Griffin plays. He is a force. Very hard to contain him when he gets in close just due to his strength and activity.
Okay, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
First one falls for him. For Griffin and his ability to create contact close, he's been called a bull in a china shop, something that I think Clarkey embraces.
Yeah, I think he'd rather be the bull than the china in that situation because of his strength and physicality. And I think that's the right mentality to have as a power forward.
That's also good. So he hits both free throws. And guys, Blake Griffin has got to be one of the more humble stars in the league. You rarely hear about off-court issues and interviews he's engaging, and comes off kind of as a regular guy.
That's the way it appears to me, Kevin. The young man has his head screwed on pretty tight and both feet on the ground. He started out as a class act, and he stayed one.
And talking about Blake Griffin, one of the more well-liked players in our league, but also one of the most teed-up players, top 5 in the league for the past 4 seasons. He's been ejected from several games as well.
Good.
And, you know, getting back to Griffin, it's hard to stay grounded in this league. All the money, endorsements, ad campaigns, commercials, and so forth, that stuff can take you off track. But I think he's going to be grounded and maintain his focus going forward.
Parker against Paul. Parker passes to Duncan. And he can't bank that one in. The Clippers in the lead. Kicks it to Paul. Dishes it to Reddick. To the paint. He's looking for Griffin. Finds him. Banked in off the glass. Griffin's got 6 points.
You know, they've scored several times already here in the first quarter down low. I like that.
And it's like a running game in football. When you can pound the basketball inside, it also allows you to control the team's transition.
Now here's Leonard. And you can see his scoring totals. Those are some pretty good numbers. He's putting up close to 15 points a game on average. That's good. Duncan's got his second basket. LA's gone 0-2 from deep here. And Reddick kicks to Paul. The baseline J. No good. Good D by Parker. The Spurs have gone 5 of 8 from the field, shooting over 62%. Here's the three. And Baamute pulls it in. The Clippers shooting 56% in this first quarter. An outstanding start for this offense. Green against Paul. Top of the key, Griffin. Kawhi Leonard with the rebound.
When he's wide open like that, he'll rarely miss those. All the defender had to do there was just stay close to him, and he did.
And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. And the foul called on Los Angeles.
2 shots. Elbow. 2.
San Antonio shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night.
And on the season, you know, they're hitting about 76%, which is a decent rate.
Guys, that says a lot about the poise of this team. I mean, they've been so calm, cool, and consistent at the stripe this year. I mean, that's impressive.
First free throw is good.
And really, the last few seasons, the Clippers have been one of the most consistently strong teams in the league. A far cry from when they were a bottom feeder back in the day. They have become one of the premier franchises in the NBA.
And both free throws good for Green. As you said about the Clippers, the days of finishing near the bottom every year are over. Clark, a lot of that is Doc Rivers.
Exactly. Since 2012, Kevin, they have had the 3rd best record in the NBA. A lot of loyal fans stuck it out with the team during the dark days, and now they're reaping the fruit.
To view the league's highest scoring team. 5th, the Clippers.
You know, it's amazing when you consider how much can change on a team from year to year, but nonetheless, this team has been one of the best at putting points on the board.
Los Angeles has gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Paul against Parker. Jordan the screen. Paul goes in, feeds it to Griffin. And a great assist by Paul as that one goes in. 8 points for Blake Griffin. San Antonio trailing here. And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Well, Kevin, Greg Popovich had a few moments to share with me. I asked him how he was going to slow down Blake Griffin in this one, and he told me any way we can. He went on to add that he didn't really have any one answer for Blake because he is such a dynamic player, adding, you see the dunks in the highlight reels, but he can hurt you in a lot of other ways as well. Really, we just have to throw everything we can his way. Guys?
Thanks a lot, Doris. And he gets the friendly spin, and that one drops. Griffin's got 10 points in the game.
This switch has definitely been flipped to on this quarter, guys.
Paul against Parker. Outside, Green. Here's Aldridge. And he gets the bucket. Aldridge has got his first 2 points of the night.
Not much defense to speak of yet here, guys.
Nope. It's been all offense, fellas, all the time here early.
Jordan the screen. Ball for 3. The Clippers keep it alive. Good. And that's 12 points for Blake Griffin.
How about 5 of 6 to start? Looks like he brought his A game.
Duncan with the screen on Paul. And Aldridge the basket on the assist by Parker. Aldridge has got it all tied up now for the Spurs.
Nice work by Duncan to lay into that defender.
Paul kicks to Mbamute. That's short off the rim.
Good little two-man action there, but they just can't get the shot to fall.
Yeah, but that was a beauty. Good-looking shot, well-executed play. I wouldn't be surprised to see them go back to it.
Aldridge's shot is good.
It really can't have looked like that. I mean, that's just inviting trouble.
Paul against Parker. Jordan with the screen on Aldridge. Back by Aldridge. Here's Parker. It's hauled in by the Clippers and stolen by Aldridge. That's good. Now it's a 5-point Spurs lead.
Perfect 4 for 4 for him to start this game out.
Yeah, he's looking good. He's got a nice bounce in his step to start. And guys, remember, LaMarcus Aldridge last January suffering a torn ligament in his thumb, scheduled to undergo surgery and miss 2 months of the season. But he opted to tough it out and keep playing. And boy, how big was that for the Blazers?
Now here's Green following the shot by Chris Paul. Too long in the paint, and he's hit with a 3-second violation. And a look now at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for the Spurs.
You've got to like the consistency with which they're hitting that mid-range jumper.
Something else they've been able to do so far tonight is earn those tough points in the paint.
And he shows the focus there, nails the technical.
And listen, San Antonio is an older team, actually the oldest in the league last season. And because of injuries and days off, they didn't get to feel that preferred starting five a lot last year.
Here's what San Antonio's going with right now. Bonner, he's checked in for Duncan. Diaw comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. Anderson, he's checked in for Kawhi Leonard. And it's Mills in for Parker. Now here's Crawford. Looking at his numbers, he's averaging about 6.5 points a game. Shot to stop the run, and the foul on Bonner. That's his first foul. Manu Ginobili, he's checked in for Daniel Green.
Substitution for the Spurs, Manu Ginobili.
There's a screen. Crawford, no one around him. No good off the front iron. Spurs only used their preferred lineup less than half the season, but still a strong campaign. 22 games played with the starting lineup of Parker, Green, Leonard, Duncan, and Splitter.
And, you know, the Spurs will go on to use 23 different starting lineups, Kevin. That would be the 5th most in the NBA.
I like the recognition of the mismatch there, immediately making the defense pay.
And Mills kicks to Diaw. It's good from long range. Diaw's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Clark, some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, they need a basket just to regain some momentum here, Kevin.
And Ginobili with a clear path to the rack. Throws down the breakaway jam.
And unfortunately, we've seen a few too many of those. A lack of concentration and alertness, a turnover, and an easy bucket the other way in transition.
And really a few more of those, and this game could be over.
It's Crawford with the drive. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in.
You know, the defense has got to do a much better job of fighting over those screens.
And, Greg, especially when the ball is in his hands. I mean, come on now. You know he doesn't miss too many open looks like that. Now,
here's Stevenson. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. The pass to Smith. Uncovered. No luck. Spurs leading by 7. Ginobili kicks to Diaw. That falls. Nice feed that time from Manu Ginobili. Diaw's got 6 points.
They haven't been able to stifle him defensively here.
No, to the contrary. They haven't provided much resistance at all. And in this game, you've got to play both ends of the floor.
Manu Ginobili on the win. He's coming off a 10-point game against Washington. Shoots from the elbow. And the release was before the buzzer, but it's off target. So as we end the first quarter, already a double-digit ball game. Spurs out in front. They're up by 10. Live from the AT&T Center in San Antonio, you're watching 2K Sports. And Blake Griffin grew up playing the game of brother. His dad was his coach, and he credits his brother for inspiring him to work at his craft.
Let's take them back.
Well, talking about taking the right course, we know that the older brother of Blake Griffin, 3 years older, he played, as did Blake, for their dad Tommy in high school, and they were terrific high school players and 4-time state champions.
I mean, it always helps to have a big brother who's kind of been there and done that and can share those experiences with you. It doesn't hurt to have a dad also who's a pro player either, and also a college player.
And welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. Guys, what's your take on the Spurs so far?
I just think that from an intensity standpoint, their defense has really been the key. It's been the catalyst as they've been able to disrupt their opponent's offense.
Absolutely. I mean, they've been much more intense defensively. And their defense not only has been intense, but it's been swarming and saran wrap-like.
Setting the floor for the Clippers. Johnson is out there with Pierce. Then there's Cole Aldrich. And it's Crawford. And it's Rivers in at the 1 spot. Now here's Rivers looking for his first basket still in this one. Aldrich kicks to Crawford. Can't hit. Nice D from Ginobili.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open. And Coach Doc Rivers wears multiple hats for this organization. Not only is he the head coach, but also in charge of all basketball operations, really the leader in a lot of ways for this team.
And here's Rivers. Manu Ginobili getting his 3 to go. Comes up empty down low. A shot's good from Aldrich.
Now that's how you pick up second chance points. Stay active and be ready as soon as the shot goes up.
Here's McCallum. He's guarded by Rivers. The feed now to Diaw. Ginobili against Crawford. Back to Diaw. Clock at 4. The shot is off. And the Clippers will go the other way with it. They can look forward to the Rockets Arena after this matchup to take on Houston. That'll be the second of this 2-game road trip. Rivers dishes to Johnson. That one goes. Count. Johnson's got 5 points in the quarter. Spurs leading by 11. Quarter 2 and just under 2.5 minutes gone by. Diaw. And that basket's going to count, folks. Gets the goaltending call right there.
He didn't get to that one quite in time, Kevin. Those can be tough to gauge sometimes.
A different look now for San Antonio. LaMarcus Aldridge, he's checked in for Diaw. And it's Kawhi Leonard in for Kyle Anderson. The Clippers also making some changes. Jordan, he's checked in for Aldridge. Redick comes in for Jamal Crawford. And Paul subbed in for Austin Rivers.
And you really got to admire Boris Diaw. I mean, he's found a way to kind of reform his game as he's gotten older. I mean, so different than when he was new to the league.
Now let's take a look at a breakdown of this season's best rebounding point guards. 5th on the list, Chris Paul.
And it may not be the first thing you think about, but if you look at a lot of the all-time great point guards, their rebounding, that nose for the basketball is a big part of their game.
Absolutely. I mean, that's no coincidence. The ability to have an impact everywhere on the floor, not just on the perimeter. I think that's what separates a lot of the great point guards from the good ones.
The Spurs making a switch here. Green's checked in. Paul passes to Jordan. Jordan the screen. Pierce kicks to Reddick. Here's Johnson. Score it. His third straight basket in 3 tries.
After going scoreless in the first, he's really found a way to turn it on here in the second quarter.
Outside Leonard. Fader on the way. It's hauled in by Los Angeles.
You know what? Just a little fancy on that possession there. Just go up in rhythm.
Johnson kicks to Pierce. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
When you're talking about the greatest clutch players ever, that list needs to include Paul Pierce. I mean, he slowed down a bit, no doubt, but don't let that fool you. If you give him any kind of look at the end of the game, he'll cut your heart out.
And he can't get the first one. Looking back at Paul Pierce's career, Clark, so many game winners. None more impressive than his jumper over Dwayne Wade in the first round of the 2010 playoffs.
Yeah, you know, Shaq nicknamed him the Truth for a good reason. I mean, Pierce grew up in L.A. and reportedly dreamed of playing with the Lakers. Ironic that he instead became one of the Celtics' all-time greats.
You know, you work hard all season, Greg, to try and get into the playoffs, then get a favorable first-round matchup. How about the Clippers last year? Followed those steps. They're rewarded with the first-round matchup against the defending champions of the league, the San Antonio Spurs.
And not only were the Spurs the defending champions, but they came in playing terrific basketball down the stretch, which is kind of what they are noted for. And the Clippers, though, did well, even though that was the case. And another miss. He's having a really ugly game.
Yeah, about as ugly as you can have, you're right.
I tell you what, you got to love his aggressiveness finishing inside like that.
Well, his leaping ability, Clark, gives him a great advantage.
And that's why they look to get him the ball around the rim. It's either a dunk or free throws every time.
Reddick with the 3, and again, no good by the Clippers.
Boy, I tell you, it was a tough road for the Clippers in the playoffs. They get by the Spurs in round 1 in a 7-game emotional series, then immediately have to go up against the Rockets in round 2.
He kicks it to Paul. A 3-ball. It's good from Paul Pierce on the assist by Paul.
You know, they've got to be careful not to give a shooter of his caliber open looks like that. 1 or 2 of those are all it takes to really get him going.
And we all remember the Clippers would go up 3-1 against the Rockets. They had that 19-point lead in the fourth quarter of Game 6, but couldn't hold on to it and lose Game 7. And it was one of the biggest series collapses, really, in postseason history.
Now here's Paul. After the miss from Tim Duncan. Off the mark, had a chance to trim it to single digits. Parker dishes to Green. There's the screen. Duncan, the pass to Parker. He feeds it to Aldridge. Back to Parker. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. Chris Paul picks up that one.
And how good a playmaker has Tony Parker been? One of the best in recent history. The all-time leader in assists for the Spurs over his 14 years there. Just a crafty guy with the ball in his hand.
And continuing our talk of Tony Parker, the first year he laced up his sneakers, he increased the tempo for that entire Spurs offense, and it continues to this day.
Yeah, and the increase in floor spacing and tempo, a big reason the Admiral, Tim Duncan, and Parker won the championship together in 2003, and obviously Duncan and Parker have won a few more rings since then.
Los Angeles making a switch here. And Mbaamute's checked in. And Parker drops them both. For a while, the Spurs were viewed as a slow-it-down team from their championships almost a decade ago. That isn't the case at all anymore, though.
You know, I think it took the viewing public quite a while to catch on, though, Kevin, because now most people look at the Spurs as one of the more exciting brands of basketball in our league. Just watching one game of them, and now you know that is the case.
for the Spurs playing up tempo. I mean, they made that adjustment several years back, to their credit. Since then, they've been one of the more up-tempo and offensive-minded teams in the league.
Pick by Griffin. Here is Mbamute. Terrific assist. A nice finish. Solid play all around.
And some stats to kind of back up the Spurs playing that up-tempo style. They led the league last year in distance traveled as a team. Their players would cover almost 18 miles per game play. That tells you there's tremendous ball movement, but more importantly, body movement.
Clock at 6. Again, the miss by the Spurs. Looking at the last game for San Antonio, it was a win against Washington.
Well, it's a big-time victory when you can storm back like they did. They did not have a good first half, but completely outdid themselves in the third quarter.
And you know what? I like the fact that they really used that halftime break well. Obviously, not only did they go in and get refocused and come out fired up, but they also, I thought, really flipped their game plan a little bit, made some terrific adjustments. And one thing that everybody loves about Coach Pop is his frankness. You get a taste of it in interviews, but he's as honest and straightforward with you as he is with anybody else.
Let's see how the Clippers have performed over the last few weeks. 6th in scoring, 7th in free throw percentage. And they kept the lid on opposing teams' overall offense as well. They're in the top 10 in opponent scoring.
Yeah, and you talk about their points per game. Definitely not elite, but in the upper echelon. And when you play good defense, sometimes that's enough. The fans love the top scoring teams, but really it's all about balance.
Well, you've got Greg Popovich, and I think he puts this at times grumpy demeanor in more of a spotlight. He's playing along, as we all know, with the sideline reporters. He knows, Greg, you know this firsthand, when to turn it on, when to turn it off. He can be as compassionate a person, Clark, that you and I have ever been around.
Yeah, he's competitive, but he understands that we're all human, and he treats people the right way all the time.
Now, here's Leonard, following the miss by Griffin. Leonard kicks to Parker. Ball against Leonard. Green, the screen. Off the pick. And it's Aldridge missing. Clippers trail by 9. It's stolen by Green. Wide open look. The Spurs rebound.
He's got to be disappointed with himself on that one. He has got to knock those down.
Ball outside. Astor Reddick with the ball. And Parker with the block.
It just hasn't been a very good day for him, guys. They need him to start bearing some of those.
Outside, Green. Passes it to Aldridge. Aldridge can't get that one to fall.
Here in the second, he's off stride and off track just a bit after that one he had earlier.
Paul kicks to Griffin. The dish to Mbamute. Good ball movement here by the Clippers. Here's Jordan. And he gets that one to go off the front iron. Jordan's got his first bucket of the night. San Antonio leading by 7. Duncan with the screen for Parker. Aldridge left side. Good. Aldridge has got 11.
He shot the ball exceptionally well as they've built this lead for themselves here.
Down low, here's Griffin, and he jams it after taking the nice feed on the run.
Wow, what a clever pass that time by Chris Paul.
Inside. And Leonard gets it to go. He's got 10.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with the way they work down low.
It's becoming a theme in this game, Clark. They are piling up the points in the paint.
Paul kicks to Griffin. The fadeaway. The rebound by the Spurs. Duncan's got 6 rebounds now in the game. Duncan with a screen on Paul. Pass to Aldridge. And it's good in the assist by Parker. Parker's got 5 assists tonight.
You know, the defense has got to do a much better job of fighting over those screens.
And Greg, especially when the ball is in his hands. I mean, come on now. You know he doesn't miss too many open looks like that.
And the call will be against Tony Parker. That's his first foul.
Yeah, that's a tough call right there, and really a tough break for the D.
Greg, no problem for me with that call. I mean, he was still sliding right there.
So San Antonio goes with a fresh 5 on the floor. Josh Smith, he's checked in for Los Angeles. Lance Stevenson comes in for J.J. Redick. And Smith gets double-teamed. And out of bounds as San Antonio gains possession. Guys, Josh Smith, an interesting case. Clark, he shot about 2 triples a game last year. Yet for the last 3 seasons, his free throw percentage has been under, surprisingly, 55%.
Yeah, and that's terribly troubling. I mean, his three-point percentage improved in Houston, but the free throws, really, he can do much better than that. You look at his stroke, I think it's just a matter of concentration with Josh.
Now, here's Mills. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Diaw with the screen on Bob Mute. And Ginobili wide open. He shoots. And Kyle Anderson gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. Jamal Crawford, he's checked in for Mba'amute. Clippers trail by 11. There's 1:54 left to play in the first half. Crawford against Ginobili. Shoots from 12. The shot is off. And San Antonio will go the other way with it. This, their first look at this year's Los Angeles squad.
And they're facing the team that dismissed them from the postseason last year. So certainly a little payback in mind.
Greg, we know that's in the past, but you can't change that for sure. Nevertheless, a win would be sweet.
Diaw with the screen on Rivers. The kick out to Anderson. Lots of room. And the jumper is on the mark. And the Spurs lead by 11. Los Angeles has gone 2 of 4 from three-point range so far in the second quarter. Rivers kicks to Crawford. He dishes it to Smith. Shoots from the block. No good on the shot. A bit long that time. San Antonio leading by 11. Outside, Ginobili. It's rebounded by Stevenson.
He's tried to get it going, but the shots simply have not been there. Nothing seems to be falling.
Corner shot. And Crawford with the basket on the assist by Rivers. Rivers has got his 3rd assist on the night. San Antonio's gotten a lot of looks from outside tonight. 5 of 12. And Mills kicks to bottom. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
I mean, even he was surprised to be that open.
Clippers trail by 11. Here's Crawford. He's got 6. There's the pick. Dishes it to Rivers. A three-pointer, no good. And that concludes the first half. Spurs lead by 11. And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Tony, you guys have seemed to be in a good groove lately. Taking a broader look at the season, what's important for this team to have success this year?
To stay healthy. I like our chances this year. Our young guys got a lot of experience, and we play good basketball right now, so hopefully we can stay healthy and play good at the end of the season.
Tony, thank you as always. Guys, back to you.
All right, Doris, thank you. And we'll be back after halftime for the start of the third quarter.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Well, 2 quarters down, 2 to go. Welcome back, Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny the Jet Smith as we start breaking it down for you. LaMarcus Aldridge was the story in the first quarter. He had 13 points, 5 rebounds, and 1 assist. And Shaq, what are your thoughts on how San Antonio played?
Well, the shots were dropping for him. I mean, they was just dropping out of everywhere, dropping out the ceiling, dropping out the popcorn guy man's hand, whatever. It didn't matter what the defense was. They found a way to get a good look almost every time. They just got to be patient, take as long as they need to keep finding those high percentage shots.
Kenny, what's your take on the Clippers?
Their inaccuracy from behind the arc was brutal. Shot selection, I didn't see any. The perimeter offense they're running, you could scrap that. They need to get back to the basics. Pound it inside, more pick and roll. Try to pick up some easy buckets in transition.
And that'll do it for now as the second half of our game is about to get underway. Kevin Harlan has the call.
Here we go, San Antonio.
And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but you know, anything can happen.
Blake Griffin doing all sorts of things. 16 points, and they've got to be happy with his work on the glass, too.
They really do. He is not giving up any ground in the paint, and when the ball goes up, you know he's going to be there to fight for it.
San Antonio leading by 11.
There are certain things, guys, that you can always count on in life. Death, taxes, and, of course, the Spurs winning 50 games in the regular season. Happened for the 16th straight season last year.
Parker and Green are the guard pairing. Aldridge out there with Kawhi Leonard. And it's Duncan in at the center. And that's who's in the game for the Spurs. Clippers trail by 13. Redick with it. Paul with the screen for Redick. Paul outside. And he banks in the layup. Paul's got his third basket of the night. Well, keeping in mind the Spurs have won 50 games or more for many years in a row, Greg, there are teams out there who can drive cars who have not even seen the Spurs not win 50 games, at least in a year.
And the way the Spurs keep on building this team, it's not as if that streak's going to end anytime soon. Those kids might have a chance to vote and do much more before they fail to see the Spurs win 50 games.
Here's Paul following the basket by LaMarcus Aldridge. And the wide open shot from Redick. A three-pointer off the mark. San Antonio leading by 13. Parker kicks to Leonard. The 10-footer. And that one off the back of the rim and in. Leonard's got 12 in the game. The Clippers shooting at a decent 44% clip here. Paul kicks to Griffin. Right wing. Here is Mbamute. Green with the rebound.
Not really sure what he was thinking about on that shot. That is not high IQ basketball.
Not at all. I mean, he shouldn't even have considered taking that shot. Just a poor choice there.
Yeah, but they're 3 of 4 to start the second half.
They really want to find that igniter here.
Yeah, that's right. Kevin, the offense has basically been running in place.
They got to get going. Jordan's shot is off.
That's 1 for their first 4 to start the second half.
Green dishes to Parker. Knocks it loose. 3 on 3. Here is Mbamute. Great pass to set up the lay-in. Mbamute has got his second basket of the game. Spurs leading by 13. Mbamute pulls it in. Parker against Paul. Kicks to Mbamute. Here's Jordan. And it's sent back by Aldridge. Here's Leonard. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. A long time in San Antonio, it's been about the big 3, and rightfully so with all their wins, and Kawhi Leonard seems to be their future.
And Kawhi and the big 3 recognize that and are trying to ease the transition period. And if you know the Spurs, they'll make a smooth transition, won't they, Kevin?
Absolutely.
2 shots.
The free throw drops for Leonard.
And guys, for Kawhi Leonard and the Spurs, Coach Popovich already sees him as the next guy. He told Leonard not to think of the big 3, but to think of himself as the big 1.
Both free throws good from Kawhi Leonard.
And guys, with what Popovich said about Leonard, small things like that can be the catalyst to get a player to reach greatness. Sooner or later, this will be Kawhi's team. And the Clippers, not known for being an outside shooting team, but they take a large amount of deep mid-range twos as well as their fair share of 3.
Now a chance, Kevin, to see how the last month has fared for the Clippers. 2nd in second chance points. 7th in opponent field goal percentage. And they kept the lid on opposing teams' overall offense as well. They're in the top 10 in opponent scoring.
And their gift for offensive rebounding definitely evident in all those second chance points. The 2 go hand in hand. Make no mistake, if you don't box out, you're going to pay.
Right around 3 minutes into the second half. Paul passes to Griffin. Griffin draws the double to the middle. Jordan. And that one goes in as he is fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts at the line.
First shot foul.
Andre Jordan has been extremely productive over 7 years. That makes it even more unbelievable that there was some question, Clark, as to his commitment to basketball coming into the league.
Yeah, you know, on talent and athleticism alone, he would have been a top 10 pick for sure, but he slipped to the second round, and he's made good on it, though.
And he gets the bucket. Green's got 5 points so far. A little under 2.5 minutes off the clock now here in the third. Ball against Parker. And he's going up for the alley-oop. It's stolen by Duncan. Parker kicks to Leonard. Spurs working the ball around now. Feeds to Parker. Three-pointer. It's hauled in by the Clippers. Griffin's got his 6th rebound on the night.
And watching DeAndre Jordan, he's really refined his game over the years without losing the athleticism. He's that rubbery, long-limbed athlete that transcends age. And so far, I've seen 0 drop-off in his leaping ability and quickness, but no question he's improved his skills and IQ.
Leonard, no luck. Clippers trail by 15. Paul kicks to Jordan. The pass to Mbamute. Aldridge against Griffin. It's hauled in by LaMarcus Aldridge. Aldridge has got 6 rebounds here tonight. And Leonard gets it to go on the assist from Green. Green's got 3 assists now in this one. Los Angeles has gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half.
And talking about DeAndre Jordan, he is displaying an energy level that many scouts wondered if he had. Let's face it, he underachieved a bit in his 1 year in college. He knows that. But when it's come time to do it at the highest level, DeAndre has risen to the occasion.
San Antonio with the ball. Their defense has only allowed 6 points in the second half. Next up will be a home game matched up against the Pacers. And that game closes out the 4-game homestand for him.
Yeah, it looks like he saw some things out there that need to be adjusted. He's going to take a break here and talk it over.
Hey, you know, coaches sometimes need a break in the action to rethink and retool a bit. Anytime you're in that situation, it makes sense to use the timeout.
Here to see some stats for Parker. Some nice work from him over the last 10 games. Averaging about 11 points, 9 assists, and 2 rebounds. They're loving how he's running the show here. His sensational passing really breathing life into their offense.
You know, the scheme just seems to run much more smoothly when he's in the game because he knows where everybody is at all times.
Leonard on the wing. Stolen by Reddick. And pushing it up. Here's Los Angeles. And Griffin slams it in.
Well, they need those kinds of plays right now. I mean, smart defense generating some offense.
And really, Clark, that's the way you get yourself back into the game. Key stops and then try to get out in transition for some easy ones.
And San Antonio has possession. The Clippers getting the bucket. Screen by Duncan. Fades and shoots. Will not go. This is off the front iron.
He is yet to get into the flow of this game. His teammates have done their part, but they need him to pick his game up.
They set the pick. Paul dishes to Mbamute. Second shot opportunity, and Jordan with the nice inside bucket. Jordan's got his 3rd bucket of the night.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to pick up that interior defense.
Now, here's Mbamute after the miss from Tim Duncan. And Mbamute kicks to Jordan. It's stolen by Duncan. Green passes to Parker. The feed to Green. From the arc. There's the bucket. Good. Green's got 5 points in the quarter. And look at how the hustle game has been going for San Antonio.
Defensively, they played with a lot of energy, and the steals we've seen are a result of that aggressiveness.
You know, adding on to that, you look at their block totals tonight, and you see how feisty they've been on the defensive end this game. You know, one of the things I think we forget about with Chris Paul is just how clutch he is as a player. I mean, hitting the go-ahead shot in Game 7 against the Spurs last postseason was a big reminder to everyone that this guy is clutch.
Shooting 2. Shooting 2.
And he knocks down the first one. And talking about Paul and his ability to come up in the clutch, that Game 7 shot when he was playing injured against San Antonio, the defending champions, turned out to be the game-winning points. Remarkable play, remarkable series for him.
It was. You know, you could see him hobbling around out there and would have to miss games in that Rockets series, the first two, if I recall. But that series is what Paul is really all about, Kevin. He is a competitor, first and foremost.
And taken away by Paul. He kicks it to Griffin. Back to Paul. Lets the three fly. That drops. And it comes off an assist from Griffin. 11 points for Chris Paul.
He's got some serious momentum going right now. He's been great all day. Even last game, he was on fire.
Leonard with no one around. Trying to answer back, but that three is off the mark. Clippers trail by 11. Pass to Mba'amute. Up top, Griffin. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for two.
And the Spurs last season became the first franchise to hire a female assistant coach. A big step, not just for the Spurs, but really for all of the NBA.
Well, as Greg was just talking about, the assistant that was hired was Becky Hammond, a phenomenal player for a very long time in the WNBA. And Clark, you know, you and I were talking about this before. She was a perfect candidate to become the first full-time female assistant.
Yeah, I agree with you, and it might not seem like that big a deal to some, but this was a big-time barrier breaker that the Spurs pulled off.
First free throw is good. The Spurs making a switch here. Honors checked in, and Los Angeles making a change here as well. Wesley Johnson's checked in for Mba'amute. So after making the first, he goes 1 for 2.
And for David West last season, the thought was he might increase his production with Paul George out, but the opposite happened. West suffered his lowest scoring output in a decade, only 12 points per game on 47% shooting. Rough showing for the former All-Star.
So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there. Well, Greg, getting back to West, even though his scoring was down, his playmaking was up. You were talking about that. Clark, 3.5 assists a game last season, by far the highest number of his career.
Yeah, one of the very best pros I've ever been around. He's very smart. He's tough. He's all about team. And, you know, he makes things happen. Impacts winning in a lot of ways, and those assist totals indicate that.
Mills, he's checked in for the Spurs. And he can't hit the second.
And for a long time in the NBA, the stretch four was kind of the anomaly and not the standard. Now it seems that you are the rare power forward if you can't hit a three. Very few traditional power forwards now in the NBA.
Potter's shot good.
You can't afford to give him that kind of a look.
Well, you know, he came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you got to do a better job of fighting over and through that.
Now, here's Reddick. He's had his share of big nights at the offensive end, that's for sure. His scoring average is at 18 points a game. With the stretch four and the need for shooting at the position, they don't need to be a three-point threat, but they do need to be able to hit a mid-range jump shot.
Yeah, well said. I think you need to have guys that can make perimeter shots to create spacing. The game's evolving to a space-out-the-floor type game, and shot making gives you a chance to do that.
And the slam by Blake Griffin.
Really hard to decide, guys, which was better, the pass, the catch, or the slam.
Clark, there's no wrong answer to that one, my friend. Sensational alley-oop all the way around.
And guys, you know what? You wouldn't know that they're the team that's actually trailing with how they were able to pull that play off.
Clippers trail by 11. Now Paul. He's got 11. Connection by Leonard. Here's McCallum. There's the triple. Again, Leonard missing.
He's frigid from three. I don't know what's worse, that he can't hit anything from out there or that he keeps on trying to.
And a fast break now for the Spurs. Mills has got the ball. That bucket in no time at all. 18 points for Kawhi Leonard.
And that's sort of been the story here today, hasn't it?
Los Angeles has gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. And Griffin, here we go. Jordan, and he takes that one up and powers it through. That gives him a double-double in this one. 10 points and 10 rebounds. Here's the screen. Mills dishes to West. It's hauled in by the Clippers. There's 1:54 left in the third quarter. Redick for three, and a great assist by Paul as that one goes in. Paul's got his 7th assist here tonight. Spurs leading by 8. And here's Mills. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. Bonner's shot good.
Boy, they're getting into a real groove from inside the three-point line, knocking down those mid-range jump shots.
8 of their last 10 have come from the mid-range.
Now here's Johnson. He's got 7. Jordan the screen. Redick for 3. McCallum with the rebound.
He's going to play his way right onto the bench and out of the game if he continues to shoot it like he has so far in this quarter.
The shot misses. And the Clippers will go the other way with it. Paul kicks to Jordan. Redick passes to Griffin. Johnson in the corner. Clippers moving the ball around. Paul's shot is off. The Spurs shooting at 52% from the field. They're cooking. Leonard with the ball. Chris Paul covering. That's good. Bonner's got 8 points. 35 seconds left to play in the third. Paul kicks to Redick. He feeds it to Jordan. Paul outside. Clock at 6. Griffin sets the screen for Paul. Floats one up. And he lays it up and in. Paul's got 9 points here in the second half.
You know, obviously, he knows how to finish with some flair.
Paul with the steal. And he gets the bucket. McCallum can't get it to go. The third quarter comes to a close. Spurs out in front. They're up by 8. We're going to step aside for just a second, but join us right back here for the start of the fourth quarter. Next. Hello and thanks for joining us, folks. The fourth quarter of play should begin momentarily. Here's Paul. And on the floor for the Clippers here in the fourth, Chris Paul and J.J. Redick are the guards. Smith is out there with Griffin. And it's Mbamute in at the 3 slot. It's good, and the San Antonio lead is cut down now to just 5 on the basket from J.J. Redick. Here's San Antonio now. Passes it to Duncan. And a strong finish with 2 hands.
Boy, he threw out some punishment with that 2-hand throwdown.
And Clark, now's the time to do it. Continue to attack that rim.
A drive by Paul. The dish now to Smith. Screen by Smith. Paul for 3. And the rebound goes to Duncan.
Boy, just by his body language, Kevin, you can tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Yeah, it seemed like he had great rhythm on that. You can see the disappointment in his face.
And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
And so last season for Tony Parker, somewhat of a shift. I mean, he was solid, but injuries cost him a few games. He also had his lowest assist and points per game totals since his rookie year. But he fought through like the champion that he is.
Free throw drops in for Tony Parker. Last year, a big challenge for Tony Parker. He was in his 14th season, obviously. Every great player needs to transform his game as he gets on in age, Clark. We've seen it with the great ones. Parker did put up the highest three-point percentage of his career last year.
And he also ran the offense with tremendous poise and professionalism and cut down the turnover average as well, the lowest of his career.
Now here's Paul. Just over a minute play here in the fourth, and he gets it to go. Redick's got 5 points in the quarter.
There's been a change in his game compared to what we saw in the first half. And he's scoring with a lot of confidence now.
Parker against Paul. Shoots from the elbow. That one a 10 offline to the right, but drops in for him. And that's 10 points for Tony Parker. Clippers trail by 9. To the paint. Redick dishes to Smith, and he uses the glass on the layup. And so it's San Antonio with it. Parker outside. Here's Duncan. It's rebounded by Paul. Paul's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Redick passes to Paul. He dishes it to Mbah-a-Moute. Aldridge kicks to Redick. There's a screen. Shot clock at 6. Pass to Aldridge. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
2 shots.
Okay, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
Free throw good, Aldridge. Yes, fans, Clark, and the one team they view as floppers is the Clippers. I don't like that word, but just kind of came out. Whether that is fair or not is up for debate, but it is certainly, I think, the perception.
And I think there's some truth to that perception. I mean, multiple players have received fines for flopping on their roster. I mean, you can't run away from that, and the fans remember it, too.
Oh, they do, yes, sir.
And for the Clippers and flopping, part of it might just be reputation. Whenever anyone hits the deck on their team, fans might be quick to kind of condemn that as a flop. And such a steady hand. I mean, he's one of those guys that's really allowed them to take the lead.
Well, he's just so reliable and dependable and consistent, especially here today. I mean, his shooting percentage is off the charts.
Now here's Duncan. Josh Smith unable to get his shot to go. Parker outside. Out to the right wing. Goes straight to the defender for the dunk. Draws the foul. He'll go to the line. It's on Mbah-a-Moute.
And very little fight put up by the defense as he made his way to the bucket for the jam.
They did seem to take the cautious approach, Greg, when it came to defending that one. You're right.
And, guys, it's not the time for caution now. I mean, they've got to be aggressive and take some risk to see if they can cut that lead down.
Manu Ginobili's checked in for Kyle Anderson. And Los Angeles making a change here as well. Pierce is checked in. That one misses for LaMarcus Aldridge.
You know, the Clippers were the darlings of the NBA as they improved and made strides, but I think the flopping has kind of diminished that now, that love affair. Being labeled a group of floppers can certainly stifle your popularity.
And that one's good. That's 10 points for Tim Duncan.
Nice piece of work there. Get yourself a little space and pull the trigger.
A bit under 3.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth.
Boy, he shows a lot of desire when he's fighting for that tough board, and his length doesn't hurt either.
Green dishes to Parker. Ginobili against Mbah-a-Moute. And the wide open shot from Green. Misses off the right eye. Clippers trail by 9. Paul kicks to Crawford. Launches it. And a great assist by Paul as that one goes in. And that's 11 points for Jamal Crawford.
Don't underestimate him. He can knock that down.
Dishes to Green. Duncan with the screen for Green. Parker kicks to Duncan. Rebound by Aldridge. Aldridge has got 3 rebounds now in this one. Crawford passes to Paul. Back to Crawford. The shot will not go. Duncan with some nice D. Aldridge, no good.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
You know, even though he's bite-sized compared to the big man on the floor, he's done some really tall work on the board.
Crawford, no luck.
If they could end every possession with that shot, they'd be happy. 9 times out of 10, that's an easy layup for them.
Ginobili outside. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D. And the Clippers making a change here. Jordan's checked in. Clippers trail by 6. Paul dishes to Jordan. And Abamute kicks to Paul. Floats one. That's good.
It's really been a tale of 2 halves, guys. A slow start, but this quarter, he has really been the man.
Parker against Paul. Here's Aldridge, and it's good on the assist by Parker. And that's 23 points for LaMarcus Aldridge.
You know, it's really going to be all about hard work from this point on. And they worked hard to create that high-quality shot right there.
No question. That's their goal down the stretch here. I think finding those close-range rhythm shots. And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of it.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge Greg. And when that's the case, you can mark those up for him.
Oh, here's Parker. Outside, Ginobili. It's hauled in by DeAndre Jordan. Jordan's got double-digit rebounds now in the game. Paul kicks to Jordan. Here is Mbamute. Rebound San Antonio. Aldridge has got rebound number 7 for him tonight. The drive by Green drops in the layup for 2. And the Spurs lead by 6.
I love the ball movement there. He put that on the silver platter. Just served him up.
Paul kicks to Pierce. Good ball movement here by the Clippers. And the dunk by Jordan.
Heads-up play there, guys, on the assist and the finish.
San Antonio leading by 4. Parker outside. Double team on Parker from deep. Green. That doesn't go either for Green. LA's gone 2 of 3 in the 4th quarter from long range. Good shooting so far. Pierce with the screen on Parker. Crawford outside. Tim Duncan with the rebound. Duncan's got 14. Yep, 14 rebounds for him tonight. Wow. Ginobili the pass to Green. Duncan outside. Kicks it to Ginobili. 5 on the clock. To the right side. Here's Aldridge. It's hauled in by Jamal Crawford. Crawford's got his 3rd rebound on the night. Pierce kicks to Crawford. Pierce with a screen for Crawford. Back to Pierce. Jumper off the screen. He shoots again. No good from Jordan.
Excellent. Really solid job, actually, by the defense to get in his way as he was going up for that.
Feeds to Aldridge. Parker outside. Right wing. Shoots from 14. No good from Duncan.
Well, I think he had all the space he needed. He just couldn't find the bottom of the net.
And Jordan has it in the corner. Back to Crawford. Solid shot from the distance of about 14 feet. Crawford's got 7 now in this quarter.
Key buckets, and we know he delivers down the stretch.
has some information for us. Doris?
Kevin, Greg Popovich was just going over the plan with his team. He tried to really fire them up to bring it home, saying, all night, you have all night to rest after the final buzzer. For now, we have to lay it on the line and try to bring it home. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Doris. Kawhi Leonard's checked in for Manu Ginobili. Inside, Griffin with the steal. 3-on-3. Here's Redick. Good, and Paul gets the assist. Redick's got the game tied up here for Los Angeles.
Excellent work there in transition.
Yeah, I think it's always better to go early in transition, to attack when it's there, because oftentimes you can beat the defense down the floor.
Green, terrific design on the pick play. He lays it in. Green's got 9 points now in just the second half. Paul outside. Griffin's shot is off. San Antonio's gone 0-3 so far in the fourth quarter from long range. Here's Leonard. Count the bucket. Coming off a perfectly placed assist. And it's a 4-point San Antonio lead. Los Angeles has gotten off 4 3-pointers in the final quarter, and 2 of them have fallen. Paul, right side. Off target from outside. And for the Spurs, they're shooting well here in the fourth quarter, 50%. Parker kicks to Duncan. Aldridge is straight. Parker outside. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Good. And the Spurs lead by 6.
Just a great hustle play there. Energy and passion. This is what you play the game for.
Nice game. Great performance by LaMarcus Aldridge.
When he's getting to the rack all game, if they can't do a better job of keeping him out of the paint, they're in for a long night.
We've got 1:55 left to play in the final quarter. The basket counts and 1 will go to the line with a chance to make it a 3-point play.
In the second half, they made more of an effort to get it inside, and I like that. Be intentional. Be direct. Be aggressive. Force that ball in the paint.
No good on that one. Spurs leading by 4. Here's Green. Here's Leonard. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
What a night so far for Leonard. He has 20 points, and he's rejected a shot over the course of the game, too.
And it easily could have been more. He's played an effective game at that end of the court.
Kawhi Leonard. 2 shots.
Good on the first, and that puts them up by 5.
Kevin, right now, they're doing a good job at the line. They're hovering around 83, 84, 85% from the stripe. That's good stuff. I mean, that's well done.
He's off on the free throw, unable to get that second one to drop in.
Of course, he didn't have an attempt there in the first half. He's hoping to be a little bit more active and aggressive here and draw some fouls here in the second.
Shooting from San Antonio, Dan Green. At the line for 2.
All right, now, take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
So the first one drops, and that increases their lead to 6. So he gets them both, and it's a 7-point game.
Perfectly done at the strike there. That brings their lead up to an even more comfortable level. Yeah, I think he just sees some things that can be improved and wants to get everybody back on the same page.
And usually that, to me, is a good use of the timeout. I mean, if there's something that he's noticed that can give his team a lift, I think he's got to try to take advantage of that.
There's a minute 40 left in the fourth quarter. And again, it's the Clippers missing. San Antonio leading by 7. Green dishes to Parker. Duncan, a screen. Fires from the line. No good off the back of the rim.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get many looks better from that range.
Out to the right wing. Griffin, no one around him. A rebound by the Spurs. Parker's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. And there's the pass to Aldridge. Spurs working the ball around now. Leonard, the pass to Green. Shot clock at 5. Leonard attacking. The shot's no good. So Los Angeles will take it the other way.
It's going to be tough for him here, but maybe, just maybe, it's not over yet.
Cannot afford any empty possessions. They've got to recycle everything, partner. Boy, oh boy, to be young again. My, oh my. Got me thinking back to my day.
Oh, yeah, right. It does make you nostalgic, doesn't it?
Well, speak for yourself, because I could never put it down like that, but I will say it sure looks fun, doesn't it? No time to spare. They need a bucket.
Without question. Then maybe a steal or a foul to get the clock stopped as well.
Here is Parker. And an intentional foul there stops the clock.
Yeah, you have to do that, though. You can't just let them dribble the game.
Exactly. You got to stop the clock any way possible and hope they alligator arm a few of those free throws.
It's the first, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. And so he drops them both. It's a 5-point game.
And he steps up and knocks them down, making it a 2-possession game.
Ready. There's the feed to Mba Amuta. Nails it! And he has brought them to within 2 points.
No, that's the shot of the game.
Well, he was fearless enough to get it up and down, and it paid off for him.
Spurs, 10.
First free throw is good, and that makes it a 3-point lead. And so he drops them both. It's a 4-point ball game.
No mistakes there. I think you can close the book on this one, guys. It's done.
Outside Griffin. Redick for three. Mbamute.
Boy, nice tip in to salvage the points from the missed shot. And made it work.
It did, yeah. And those second chance points, Clark, they do add up.
Yes, sir.
They do. And, guys, that's the last line of your defense there. Everything else was good, but you have to finish it off with possession.
And he commits the intentional foul.
Shooting for San Antonio. Time. Taking 2 shots.
And that hurts as he doesn't get the first one to fall. Trying to focus now on the second. And that trip coming up empty. Missing both. And so it's San Antonio who's straight by with the win. What a show they put out here at home tonight.
Tremendous work all the way down to the wire. And we're just wondering what would happen next. Major drama. And we saw good.
And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Well, guys, I'm here with Tim Duncan. In a game that is won by such a narrow margin, Tim, how big of a part of this team's identity is playing in these situations and figuring out a way to win?
Huge. It's a huge part of it. We didn't lose our focus. We didn't panic. We just kind of kept on playing, and we just kind of possession by possession, trying to get stops and push it right back at them.
Well done, Tim. We appreciate it. Guys, over to you.
All right, Doris, thank you. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. And now the award-winning Ernie Johnson will take it from here. We'll see you next time.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Kevin, much appreciated. And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, LaMarcus Aldridge.
His accuracy from the field was pretty eye-catching. I mean, if he was shooting the ball, it was going in. You rarely see a performance like this with this crazy high shooting percentage. Wow.
When LaMarcus Aldridge gets rolling, it's always going to be a tough night for the opposing team. He is about as complete as you can get on the low block. And there are very few power forwards in the NBA that can run the floor as well as he does. He's a franchise player, plain and simple, and they just couldn't come up with an answer for him tonight.
And folks, that'll wrap it up for tonight. We hope you enjoyed the game. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. Have a good evening.